Here we are. Let's do it. We can stick with these colors. I think these colors should be fine. These players are going to make it easy for us here, as we have the first play all three in Group D in T90 Titans League Season 2 for Veleza, and then the second round, technically, for Sito. We just said a lot here, Dave. Sito played very well against Viper in his Nomad game, but didn't end up getting the win. We both felt like he could have. So he's opted to not ban Nomad, and we start that off here. He's playing as the Malians, and we've got Lithuanians here for Veleza, and we've got another fun generation. Let's just put it that way here on this version of Nomad.
Yeah, plenty of space to play around with on the land. Both players getting really good dock spots on either side, opposite ends of the map. So if they want to do pressure, they're going to have to go with forward docks or just go for an FC play. And we have a pawn in the middle, which could come into play late game for water control. But also, there's a little crossing at the top of the pawn. So
I love that.
Very, very interesting generation. And this is what assuming this is like the same as our WWC Nomad generations. This was the thought process with us, right? We didn't want people to always go for water every single game, which you can do in a 1v1 on the standard DE Nomad, and you just send your ships around and eventually you'll find your opponent's dock. We wanted the possibility for pawns like this in the center, and we wanted the possibility for FC plays rather than just fully committing onto Navy.
Yeah, and the whole thing is we don't want Nomad to be treated like every other map where you're like, okay, I'm going to pick this if I'm going to do this strat and it's going to work perfect. Because that's not what Nomad's about. Nomad's about adapting, right? And we have two very adaptable civilizations. The Malians able to afford so much early because their wood buildings being cheaper. But yeah, I mean, and then you've got the Lithuanians who start with all that extra food. So they don't really need to feel any pressure to bring in a boar or a sheep right away. But their docks are very far apart from each other. And there's some sheep or pigs, I guess, scouting the shoreline for Veleza. He knows right now that his opponent's dock is nowhere near him. This is very important information.
Great scouting from him. He found 3 sheep immediately. He's going to find that pond, and he scouts all the shoreline of that pond and also all the shoreline north of his own dock. So
oh my God,
he's sending the sheep to the other side, and he's going to find the dock immediately.
Are you kidding me? What is this? I mean, it does show how high-level players know exactly what they're up to. He doesn't even show his opponent.
He doesn't even lose the pig, so he doesn't show Sito that he knows exactly where it was. I think he was sending that sheep to the very corner so he can methodically start to scout the entire shoreline. It's just very Veleza, right? Like, this is kind of like machine learning right here on the scouting for him. It's fantastic job. Sito, on the other hand, he has got 1 pig.
Yeah,
and that's
one
it.
pig.
And he hasn't scouted any shoreline other than the little pond in the middle and stuff immediately near his dock.
He does have pigs out there. Like, there's pigs that he could bring in, but he hasn't sent villagers to do that. So, for him, it's going to be a little bit more guessing game. But, again, just to highlight that moment again, I thought it was so good how Veleza saw the house, knew there would be a dock there. There's never going to be a house on the shoreline for any other reason. And he ran away quickly because if he would have lost that pig, then Sito would know that he knows where that dock is.
Dude, look at the way he's like scouting around Sito's TC. He's like, yeah, it's highly likely the TC is probably right there.
Yep.
Not going to go too close. However, I'm going to send another pig in to confirm that. And he loses the pig forward, and he sees that ibex running around too, where the villager is currently building the house from Sito. So Veleza knows where the dock is. He knows where the TC is. And he's playing as arguably the better civilization here with Lithuanians. I think Lithuanians can kind of do everything that Malians do, but a little bit better.
Well, I'll be very curious to see how Sito chooses to play this, because if you don't have vision on where your opponent's dock is, what are you seeing?
I saw a villager that is half dead to a boar, but of course he's going to save it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just not something I would have expected to be an issue at this point in the game. But yeah, nice save. I was like, oh, there's fighting already? But yeah, that villager's got loom, so she should be okay. But yeah, I mean, with Sito not knowing where his opponent's dock is, he might just choose to just blindly go into the second dock and try and win water. And that could be an issue, as we have another villager going to die somewhere and another villager surviving.
Another villager surviving. Nervous moments, right? Nervous moments. I think because they had that pause there too. That's probably what affected Veleza luring in his boar. But anyway, Sato is 6 fishing ships, one more than Valesa because he got the early start with Malians.
Yep.
Both players looking to go up relatively quickly. The only problem is that Sato hasn't scouted basically anything, and Valesa, he's seen the entire map, dude.
It's insane.
It's crazy. He's 200 points ahead.
Very rare that you can achieve that, especially when you're behind 3 eco at this stage. But, he's on the way up here, Dave, and we'll see how he chooses to play this. He does have 3 villagers on gold, and it seems like he's still thinking water control is going to be important. That surprises me. They're pretty close together on land. I mean, water's never bad, and you do need to be careful just relying on the fish at your starting dock because it will start to run out at this stage. But still a little bit of a surprise to me.
Forward dock from Valesa? It looks like it.
I see a dock in the north.
There's a dock in the north, but there's also a villager coming. No, he's going to
maybe just wall it off. Yeah. Just play. I could see Valesa walling and then playing macro style with the fish boom.
Yeah. I mean, this is a play that only he can go for, as he lets the pig from Sato go right under his TC and then just, yep, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Sato knows where Valesa is now. Doesn't know where the dock is, but he knows where he is, so he can suspect the dock is over there. Also kind of exploring the shoreline, but not really north of his. He left a lot of it blank with that pig. So questions here for Sato. Valesa is already formulating a late game strategy because he knows exactly what the map layout looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, though, how Sato has realized, all right, my fish probably pretty safe. It's not worth it for me to invest a lot of Navy right now because it's going to take a long time to kill fishing ships. Yep. So let's just go fast castle here. And that's kind of what I thought Valesa would do because he had more information. But obviously, Valesa will eventually have a payoff. The galleys will eventually find the fish. It's just going to take a couple minutes, Dave. And in a couple minutes, those fishing ships aren't going to be that efficient for Sato anyways. Or if he chooses to, he could try and fight back on water. So
I think he's going for a forward. I think he's going to go for a forward here, and I think the walls might kind of deny that a little bit.
Could be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Valesa's
already
taking
going
his time.
houses here. He is taking his time. Sato, if he sends 2 villagers forward, might be able to sneak them past.
Yeah.
And that would be very surprising for Valesa if there were to be 2 villagers in his base. But it looks like he'll go for the blacksmith, and he'll see this forward if nothing else.
Interesting. I'm trying to pay close attention to the eco here. So the eco for Sato is going to be very food gold heavy. He doesn't actually have that much wood. I guess it is cheaper with Malians,
though. Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's got 10 on wood. He's getting the upgrade. But by the time he gets to Castle Age, should have enough for like a siege workshop. But is he even going that route? It's kind of weird. You think he would have built something already or sent a vill, and there goes the first vill.
Yeah, no loom. Obviously, shouldn't really be a conversation. I mean, they're both the same speed. So if Sato sees that there's a villager there and he can't sneak by, he could just run home.
Oh, but it's walled? Or is it? Or is it?
Is Valesa paying attention to this? Yes, he is.
He is. He is. And he sees no loom.
And now the villager
and
can't actually leave.
Sato know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
he
interesting.
Lets him know.
Could actually send another villager to attack that palisade wall if you're Sato, but you don't exactly know what's happening. By the way, Sato still hasn't lost fishing ships. He's adding fires. Valesa's got a micro, but I mean, I really don't know if the water play...
I think Sato is going war galley, and he's going to try and sneak dock here.
Oh, that would be so epic.
The problem is that his opponent knows the plan. Now,
yeah, and there's a galley coming. Not only is there a galley coming, but the villager is already on half HP here. So Valesa should be able to stop this.
Save her. What kind of quick wall is that? That's a gap wall right there. There we go. That's more like it.
He's trying to wall in the villager from Valesa. I don't know if this is worth it here if you're Sato. You've got to do other things right now. He's repairing on the other side here, Dave. His fishing ship's still alive. Valesa still hasn't clicked up to the next age.
Oh,
and Sato walls him in. He walls in the villager. Just temporarily. It's a temporary prison. But Valesa also does notice now with that galley, there's no way that villager gets a dock up. There should be no way.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing else.
It is, yeah. Also, second
and
TC
Valesa
for Sato.
Sends another villager. Can he wall him in again? That's the question.
If he did it once...
Still a boar there for Valesa.
He's going to do it again. And villager's still on the move. And as long as this villager avoids the shoreline. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing Sato make even a third dock kind of towards the left corner here. That's a nice position for your fish. And yet again, Valesa went for galleys, which took so long. And I think just made the incorrect choice there. Now, granted, he does have the wall up. He will be in Castle Age. He is Lithuanians. But a really close game here so far, as Veleza's got so much to do on water. But he's doing a good job with the hit and run. He hasn't lost many ships. We've only had 1 kill in this game. And that was Sato.
It would honestly be funny if Sato had gotten wheelbarrow earlier, so he could run away from this villa and then like live in the back of Veleza's mind, you know, that there's a villager in here somewhere. But he's gonna retreat back to his base across that gap. Oh no, he's bringing the fires. Man, he really likes this girl. Like he really likes her.
She's been all over the map, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. And this should lead to a kill as well.
Boom, roasted.
Huh? Okay.
No,
nice micro there from Veleza.
He can't engage. Still has
he's going to go back for more, too.
And he's bringing his fires.
Oh, man. Now, Sato did squeak by with 1 fire. That could get hit by a demo. Sato's actually just passing because... Oh, he almost sniped the demo without taking loss.
Oh, that demo's not very valuable, though. Like, if it gets anywhere near a fire, you can hit it at max range.
But I think what you should do here with that fire is loop into the fish. This is crazy.
Sato is still trying to kill that villain. He's even bringing the pig to block the villager, and now he's repairing the fire galley.
Veleza's going to repair the demo ship, excuse me, as she still runs away. We are 20 minutes into this game. This villager's been all over, but now there's a new villager for Veleza.
Another villager. Yeah,
and Sato's still not giving up.
He's not giving up. Demo raft was repaired, by the way. As Veleza's about to hit Castle Age, Sato is ahead in villager count right now because of the second TC, and he gives up on her. No, he doesn't. He should, though.
He should at this point. But it's Sato.
Maybe he can...
Nah, not at this angle. Wait.
No, he's bringing another fire.
Wait.
But it's... Oh, dude.
He could just... You got to block with the fire. Yep. Somebody needs to get wheelbarrow here. Big demo shot there for Veleza, by the way. So he's still holding on water. But we don't really care about that. We obviously just care about the villagers.
Sato.
Block with the fire. Block with the fire. Block with the fire. There you go. There you go.
She's alive.
Look at what Sato has done, though. He's got fishing ships still working on the left side. He's got a big mass of fires, and he's not finished yet. He's got a slight eco lead over Veleza, and he also added a barrack, so we might see a little bit of a siege spearman push start.
He's bringing in, well, he's brought in 1 relic, too.
Yeah.
He's bringing in another one right now. So
yeah, all this is very good.
I think there's only 4. No, there's 5 relics on this
Should be
map.
5.
See how many you can see. Can see another one to the north, so he should be able to get 3 relics here, if not the 4th one, way up there.
Yeah, I cannot. This villager's on 1 HP just built a dock. I cannot wait to send this wreck to Hardy and give Hardy a week with this, just to see what he can do with this villager's story.
Wow, big engagement here for Sato.
Just insane. And no bodkin arrow for Veleza.
This is the risk of going War Galley, right?
Yeah.
War Galley versus fires. Like, War Galley is great in numbers. You have to get to those numbers, and then you have to be paying attention. Which is oftentimes the hardest thing.
Especially when you have one stupid villager running all throughout your eco. All of Feudal Age and Castle Age. But this is an opportunity for a big demo shot. And these choke points get really dangerous for the fires. And the perfect demo. And Sato is more distracted on land right now, as he actually is going to try and get redemption just to convert these houses. But he backs away. But I feel like at this point, if you're transitioning into farms, which Sato has not done actually, but if you're transitioning into farms, you don't need the fish as much as you would have in the early game. Obviously, water still will be important for control.
I think Veleza might need redemption here soon, too. Because Sato is hard committing to this monk push. And that usually indicates siege. He's still contesting water, and both players still have their fish alive, so that's great. Also, once Sato gets through here, there's a risk of him getting a forward dock again in that corner.
Yep.
To come make fires over there and harass the fish. So Veleza has to be wary of that. He's 3 on stone right now for Veleza. A castle could theoretically stop this push, but he's a very long way away from that. And it feels like he needs redemption.
Yep. Also, villager died, by the way. That 1 HP villager. She put up a real fight in this game. And Sato researched atonement. So he went redemption to convert siege. He went atonement, and he's going to push. He's going to come forward with his own siege here, Sato. Nice little eco lead. He had control, or gave up control on water, but pushed right back. Should still be able to defend his fish pretty easily. And then we have atonement as well from Veleza, and he will now know that Sato has it. That's
Love
crazy.
It. Love it.
And this is a really good Nomad game. Like, both of these guys are amazing at Nomad. Like, we haven't really been able to criticize too many of their decisions. The KD is really close.
Oh, Valesa snagged that relic north of Sato's base. So he's going to have 3.
Ooh, that's important with Lithuanians if Cav ever comes out. You know, normally you don't see Atonement before Redemption here, so I'm really curious to see how this goes, because the siege for Sato would actually be very effective here as the monks try and convert each other.
Who gets the good RNG? Who gets the good RNG? Who gets the good RNG? Okay.
They both
equals
kind of
out,
do.
But there's a TC to kill the monk.
And there's also a market that
Valesa
could be
deletes the
converted
other one.
here. Like, you kind of need that market in these messy games, don't you?
And Valesa doesn't want to go anywhere near that monk with his own monks either, because then he might just get converted instantly by a charged up conversion.
I really
think
like
a ram here would be really nice from Sato, and that's exactly what he's doing. Fantastic.
Yeah, I really like the ram. I really like as well how he's double stable, so he's going to go scouts. But what I don't like is how he's 0 farms. Like, he's got 10 on food right now. He's really got to mix in some farming eco.
Well, he's getting horse collar right now, and
So
he's
probably
adding the farms.
Yeah.
And he's on berries right now too with a lot of villagers, so this might actually be a decent transition from him. Remember, he's making things very messy for Valesa right now.
And he converts a
very,
monk,
very
Dave.
messy.
Yeah, also the relics are in there, by the way, so that's something to pay attention to. Yeah,
Rams
making
are
it
so
messy,
tough to
making
stop
it
if You
awkward.
only have monk defense. Ram was such a good addition here, but there's not that many monks here for Sato. He does get a conversion, monk with full faith, converting another monk that is being converted by a monk that was converted before by another monk.
I think it's still even. There's a militia that joins the party. So militia for the ram. Okay. The monk just drops off the relics there in the monastery. There's 3 relics there. There's a lot of stone income, though. And the scouts are going to pick off 1 monk there. And now Sato has something else to worry about. This is great. Great work here for Sato on Valesa. And this would be the time to send the villagers for the castle if you're going to do it.
Yeah, and a castle forward would be great. Valesa can buy his own castle. If he really wants to, he could sell his food, sell his wood, and buy the stone. And we might see a castle showdown, but unfortunately for Valesa, there's nowhere to place it.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to have to delete your farms and put it way far back. And Sato is going for a hyper-aggressive castle.
Right on the monasteries with the relics too, Dave. Like, if this castle goes up, those relics belong to Sato. He'll have all 5 relics. And he has added the farms, like we said, so he's mixing in his eco. He's still fighting and controlling on water, though. That is, you know, still some potential for Valesa. And Valesa hasn't dropped his own castle yet. It feels inevitable that Sato will get his down. He's got more monks. But, oh, wait, that might change, actually. That might change. Valesa's getting some good conversions. There's not many scouts here.
Scouts are clearing up the monks that were converted previously. They're being healed up by their friends from behind, though, and it's only 3 monks now for
That's a
Sato,
lot of monks.
though he does convert 2 monks. 3 monks now underneath the TC from Valesa. He converts another one. It's just standing there. It's just too much micro to get away with. He did get light cav.
Yeah.
And the castle goes up, arranges 2 TCs, and the ram is working away on that relic monastery. And here come the Gebettos as well. Monk death.
Look how many
underneath that castle.
Look how many monks were in that TC. Like, Valesa kept garrisoning his town center, trying to shoot the scouts, but they were half filled with monks. But yeah, I mean, the TCs will go down. The monasteries will go down. Obviously, there's still a lot of monks for Valesa, but can you win the game with just monks?
I think it's really important here for Sato to send 1 villager and wall that little marsh terrain at the top.
I agree.
Just
That's your
keep
weakness
him
right now.
penned in here.
Yep.
Yeah, keep him penned in. Make sure you keep your fish alive as well, and just have something on water so that Valesa has to be concerned about that. But don't let him get over to your side, and that looks like that's exactly what Valesa is trying to do.
If Valesa, I mean, the early farming eco for him, combined with some of the fishing ships, he had added more, Dave. That's something we didn't point out. He's been at 11. So he's actually going to be able to click up to Imp, and he has a castle behind this, which means if he can hold, he could maybe treb this back.
That's wild. His economy is this good.
Yeah,
Under
crazy.
This much pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sato's going to add more stables. It feels like an all-in castle age for Sato, but will he realize that that left side is so important here? Like a couple outposts over there, Dave, would allow him to control that area as well. He is going to grab the relics, but there goes Valesa on the way to Imp. 90 eco for both players. That's just crazy to me. that he's able to do this.
More stables here from Sito. He's going to try and win this with just momentum from this push. I feel like you got to settle things down. Maybe even go for a dock on the shoreline from Vallessa to get some fires behind. Just clear up the fish because he's still contesting the water at the top.
True. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that castle from Sito in the middle. That tells me that he kind of realizes that Vallessa might already be over in the north side of his base, and he's just going to try and get himself a secure area in the north of his base and a place where he could potentially dock in the center.
Most underrated building in the game is probably still the outpost. I know it's used a lot more these days, but how important would an outpost have been on the left side for Sito? He's had stables. He just built a castle, right? He could have...
Oh, the 1 HP villager
castle dropped it,
dude. The 1 HP Vill, or 2 HP now. She saw it.
Oh, that's true.
Dude, MVP, this woman.
Well,
MVP
that's the other...
the entire game.
No. She died earlier. The one you're thinking of died earlier. But, you know, it's maybe her, like, second cousin or something.
Daughter or something.
Yeah.
Light Caver coming in. Vallessa didn't really have the greatest monk micro there, and he loses a lot of monks because of it. Well, 2 of them.
I mean, there's no armor on these Light Cav, right? Like, Sito's going to run back here and be like, how does he have this much eco? Like, I just killed 2 of his town centers. What is this? Probably be very disappointed that he's going to see his opponent in Imp as well. And this is absolutely a close game. And even though Sito has the relics, I think you can make an argument that Vallessa actually has the lead. This is crazy.
I don't know about that castle from Sito.
You cancel it now.
Vallessa's base. I feel like you put that on the 2 TCs up north here. If you see them, once you see them with the Light Cav, you're going to see a farm, right? You're going to know that this TC is here. You can put a castle right in between those 2 and kind of stall out the expansion from Sito, but he puts another castle further back.
Yeah, I mean, he's maybe thinking he just has to hold this position. I like moving it back. By the way, 2 HP villager with shorefish now running near that ram underneath Vallessa's castle. I don't know where she's going. She was probably clicked to the other side, to be honest.
She's going to the underworld. She's surviving!
Let's go!
Bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Treb!
Oh, the Treb got in the way. Oh my god!
Nice!
Oh my god!
Treb, bro!
Oh my god! Don't tell me he's gonna lose this!
Get out of the way! Move! Move!
Monks, are you kidding me? Okay, well, I mean, that's buying Sito some precious time. Meanwhile, there's a Light Cav underneath his TC. He's got to react to that, and he's got to hit those other TCs on that other side, Dave. Like, those 2 town centers should have never been up in the first place. We've now got some latest from Vallessa coming over. And just stressful times for Sito as he has to defend those castles, but he also has to defend his own eco. Good quick walling, though, to stall this out, and maybe the latest will end up dying to the town center fire.
He did kill a bunch of fish from Vallessa, and he's got a dock now on his side. So fish aren't really part of the equation anymore.
Yeah.
However, Vallessa does have 103 villagers with 13 Qs.
And 45 on food.
And now he's going for that castle there. And Sito, it feels like this might be another Nomad game that he's just letting slip with his transition.
Yeah, it does feel very similar to the game against the Viper. Got ahead, and then, you know, just didn't have the eco to back it up. I had 45 on food, though, for Vallessa. It's just a crazy thing to see right now. The fact he's got his wood, his farm upgrade, wheelbarrow, probably handcart on the way. We have 2 rams now for Sito. Is he really going to try and ram those trebs? I don't think that is going to work.
The houses were a nice touch from Vallessa because he knew that was a possibility.
Yeah. Okay. You got
Gabetto
Spearmen, Gabetto, and Monks.
Gabetto will be good against those trebs from that distance, and the monks are going to back this up, and he might actually take out these trebs with the rams
way,
if
dude.
Vallessa isn't careful.
Well, Vallessa's converting all of his monks.
Oh, no! He's converting all of them, dude!
He did lose a treb there, Vallessa, but I think he'll be happy that he can continue this push. If he loses this treb, though, this could be super annoying for him.
It barely survives! The treb barely survives.
I'm looking at the army count. There's not much of one for Sito. He's got bombard cannons on the way. He's making more monks. He's 10 monks with 3 more on the way at the moment. Still defending this area. Still not pressuring the other side, right? It feels like the other side is still so important. He's dropping barracks in his base, so he's going to think pikemen, Dave. But Malians don't get halberdier. I think if you're going just pikemen, that's a sign that you need to win this game fast.
We're approaching a very difficult position here for Malians, which is late game against Lithuanians.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad with heavy camel and Gabetto and champion and all that, but with the way this game is progressed, it's going to be awkward. So he's just trying to hold this, and the Bombard Cannon can help take out that Treb.
Yeah, he should be able to take out that Treb and save that castle.
Unless it gets converted.
Far enough forward to convert the Bombard Cannon yet. It's being targeted now. The Gebetto gets converted, and it'll be reconverted at 2 HP. Not really worth it, maybe.
Dude, what a grindy, messy game. By the way, Sato's got a Bombard Cannon on the left we should look at because it's hitting a random Treb, but both players distracted. Now the monks are trying to convert the Bombard Cannon, but Sato's going to try and convert those monks. And Sato's micro with the Bombard Cannons and the monks. Incredible.
Yeah, and he takes out the Treb on the left, and now he's got 2 Bombard Cannons ready to attack that castle. Needs some support, though. Monks need to come forward on the left. He's got to be paying attention. Sato has the right comp to do this. It's just extremely difficult to manage the micro, and he takes out the Treb finally. I wonder how many resources were sunk into that for Velesa. And now we're looking at Velesa's eco, and we're saying, yeah, it's great he has all this food, but how much gold access does he realistically have without relics? He's got 6 tiles of gold left, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's underneath a castle that is currently being Bombard Cannon down. He might not even complete the conscription upgrade. And I like what Sato's doing. He's got some pikemen. Like, pikemen, you don't have to micro as much. You just kind of have them there as a buffer. He's going to need pikemen on the other side, but he's pushing both sides at the same time, and Velesa just can't keep up with this pressure. Sato's so patient.
He saved the castle, the first one that he put, and that was such a great move. And now he's going for another one on the left side. Latest are going to come out here from Velesa, and he's just hoping Sato's not paying attention, but he is.
He is paying attention, and
one latest,
that could be all 3. It should be all 3. It is all 3.
Kenny gets all 3.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sick.
And you know, on the other side, he did need to fall back here a little bit, but obviously Velesa was distracted, and now we've got pikemen arriving. And now I think Sato can take this game. He's got Trebs and Bombard Cannons on both sides.
Yeah.
Non-stop pressure from him. Sick.
And we look at the gold for Velesa. It's just not there, right? Sato is just floating in gold right now. Between 5 relics and Malian's longer lasting gold, which means that he can survive for a very long time. And the gold piles he hasn't even taken. He's got plenty of opportunity. Here come the light cav. They're going to try and snipe the monks first and then work on the bomber cannons. But there's 2 castles behind this. There's also pikemen there. He might take out a bunch of monks, but it feels unlikely he's going to get all of those bomber cannons, and he ends up just getting 1.
It's crazy to me how Sato's been able to micro both sides, though. It's just so impressive. That's the first time where he's really lost a lot of monks this game. But, you know, Velesa is finally breaking a little bit on the left side.
Bruh.
Well, to be honest, yeah, he's behind in a lot of upgrades, right? He's only has feudal age upgrades. He doesn't have fletching, actually. So, I mean, I think ballistics would also be hugely beneficial here for your castle fire. But it's just the micro. And I mean, the micro has put him in this position. The micro could keep him in this position.
Velesa is badly housed. He lost that castle. He's super housed. No production for him in the foreseeable future.
And he calls it.
He calls the GG. Like, we were asking about Sato. He probably shouldn't have let Velesa get onto that north side of his own area.
Yep.
Right? And he probably should have sorted out his eco earlier. But what a great recovery. You said it, like, microing on both sides with his unit composition is so difficult. And he did it perfectly.
Yeah, it was
amazing
a great game.
Play.
Also, I thought it was going to be easier for Velesa to have the recognition that says, okay, my opponent's fish is far away here. Let's not prioritize water. Let's maybe prioritize land and a fast castle. And it was Sato who ended up doing that. So if I were to be critical of one thing of Velesa's play, is simply how he opened. Because it took so long for that to pay off, I think it would have made more sense to do what Sato had done. Sato got onto the second town center and then get onto the monks and the siege and just started that snowball faster. But yeah, David, it very much felt like a game that it was Sato's to lose. And had he just stonewalled that crossing a long time ago, I think his game would have been done and dusted because Velesa would have had nowhere to go.
Stonewalled, outposts, something like that. You prevent any of that from happening. Yep. Also, like, getting your farms up a little bit faster is probably good, right? So, but it's difficult. But Sato put on the pressure, and Velesa, well, he was never able really to get out of this area and into Sato's economy, and never able to win the water. It was a good contest from Sato.
Yeah, Sato timed it perfectly. The fact that he was able to boom and also compete on water was pretty impressive. And remember that one villager running around the map as well, like made it difficult for Veleza to think about what to do, possibly. But man, look at the army high, 66 in that game for Sito. He created 189 military units. For Veleza, he ends the game with 27, only 130 military, and he probably produced a little bit more on water as well this game. I mean, this doesn't need to be stated because I'm sure everyone watching this already knows the players and knows this, but I will say it anyways. These guys are freaking good.
Yep.
Like, that was a classic Nomad game. I love to see that. And, you know, the things we could talk about, Dave, we are biased because we kind of envisioned that map script that we just looked at. But, like, there were so many different things that were possible in that game. It wasn't just go out and win water. It was land transitions, crossings that could have been walled up, areas to expand. It was a good Nomad game. I'm happy with it.
Yep. Yeah, it was really nice.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching this cast. If you didn't hear in the video, this was actually part of a full series. And what I typically do is I have the best individual games go to the YouTube channel. That way you know if this video goes up, it's going to be a banger. And then the full series I will have on my second YouTube channel, which is called T90 Extras. We make it really simple for you, though. Anytime I do this, in the description, there's a link that you can click if you want the full thing. So, once again, if you want the full thing, check the link in the description, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching, guys.